Great. So it's the elegance of this situation.
I came here without any intention, basically. My only idea was that this place is going to be much further north than any other place I've ever been before. And of course the first day it appeared that there is no night and that this is a really physical experience of being at another geographical location. But the geography was... The particularity of that movement was that I was going not from east to west like I was normally used to, but from south to north. And for me, the difference is that the movement from east to west always had some sort of political implication. Like there's Eastern Europe, Western Europe, Eastern civilization, Western civilization, and so on. Whereas when you move from south to north, you really experience geography in some physical way. Like you really place yourself in a different position towards the stars. And so I started with basic calculations of figuring out where is it that I am. And surprisingly, I found out that it's actually not so far north. Like it's only 10 degrees difference between here and Gdańsk. And but the difference in the length of the day is enormous. And then my third point of reference was Greece. Also because we started thinking about using Pythagoras as our first reference point and Pythagorean theory as a starting point for our project. So there was the starting position, Greece being at 35 latitude, then Poland being at 55 and Iceland being at 65. So first week I was just drawing all these sun clocks, but then unfortunately I had to give up this idea because we didn't have that many sunny days. So I would have needed additional instruments to actually get the sun pointing at the sundial the way I needed it. So it was like my first basic sundial drawing, like how you position these kind of sundials. I had no idea that there is actually some geometric calculation needing to be done. I just thought it's a circle with a stick, and then here you can see there's these different positions. And then here is a sundial I kind of stole from Dürer, like in his Melancholia painting. He uses there is a sundial there. And there was somebody was researching his own drawings, referring to the sundial making, and and then positioning of a sundial. We are here. There is the there is the north, there is the south, there is the equator. And the position of it has to be parallel to the north. So there was these sundials, but then obviously there was not much use for them because it was really dark and cloudy here. So at the end I just started making sundials that were even black, because it didn't really make any difference if there's shadow falling on them or not. And then finally I made this sundial that was basically like an instrument, because we were all working here with this monochord idea. So I took the same string that Krzysztof was using for his installation, or he took the same string that I was using basically. And just took the one line to make all of the lines of the dial. So basically it starts here and ends there, and then you get 24 strings that when you actually would tune it better, you could probably get some sort of guitar idea from them. But anyways, this goes somewhere else, because this idea for one line constructing a whole structure I got from wool making. And when we first went for a walk, I found this wool on the street, and then I was figuring out how to process it, and I got me in touch with some people, and I made these combs to comb it, and I spent several evenings like spinning wool basically. So that's the spin. I mean, you can really use this with your hands when you have the wool well combed. So this is basically making the silent. That was almost like making a sweater when you just have one line, and you use that line to construct the whole structure. So thanks to Anna for pointing out to that. So, who would have thought I'd be doing wool. And another thing I did was, again, from these sundials, I started getting interested in planetary system and so on. But in additional to that, on the plane here, I found this newspaper article that they were making tests about Mars rovers going to Mars. They will be going to Mars in 2018, but they had to test certain instruments that these rovers will be carrying, and they chose Iceland to perform these tests. This is the European Space Agency. So they were performing these tests in Iceland because, for whatever reason, at that point, now I know what the reason was, but then I thought for whatever reason, Iceland is similar to Mars. And then I contacted this woman. I just Googled this article and then Googled the first person that was in there, and then I wrote to this woman, and then she said, sure, yeah, I can answer all your questions. So then I found myself emailing back and forth with the scientist from European Space Agency, who sent me all this information about the cameras that they use when they're gonna be researching Mars for drilling. I didn't even know that there's already Mars rovers hanging out there and making pictures. And then I went to NASA website and I found these images that I later printed out, these 3D images that they use for making plans of the terrain. And I mean, this is Mars. But yeah, I don't know where this is gonna take me, but this is definitely something exciting that I discovered here. And yeah, of course, the first thing I did, we rented a car and we drove to that place where they were making these tests. And this appears to be a crazy volcanic area. That's something like nothing else I've ever seen before. So yeah, so we'll see.
So I want to explain what I did on my residency in Seydisfjordur 2015. This is a work starting here. Actually, it will be the line for the next shore, but the name of the work is Monochord, and Monochord gives you eternal life. It's something what Robertus de Fluctibus said 300 years ago about monochord. Everything is connected with the Pythagorean conception about ratios. The Pythagoras did the beautiful, I think one of the most important theme for West civilization about the ratios on material. So he found this diapason and etc. And transpose this concept for planets, for eternity and everything. So this is a place where the monochord starting, and the end of this line it's on the next shore for 6,131 meters. There is a same place because it was the manufactory for fish meal, and this place were destroyed by accident. The snow going down in '95. So this is like a huge silo. It was the silo. Now it's completely destroyed. And another aspect for me, it's like making this connection with the material life for the eternity. And this concrete means that it's something what the civilization did. I mean the really tough material, but it's not possible to, I don't know, just not possible to conquer with the nature, because this material can survive only 100 years, but it's still aspect of the time phenomena and materiality, because the monochord can, with the Pythagorean conception, the monochord starting with the material life can go to the eternity, and that's it, I think, about it. You can see the last part, the second part of this work on the next shore, this Seydisfjordur fjord. Okay, this is the second work I did in Seydisfjordur. Actually, it's site-specific, completely site-specific. Actually, it's not my work. It's like I just noticed something here, really important. This work is about time, actually about the infinity of time, because inside there is a fan. I found this fan, and this is never-ending stopping move, because this fan changed the position, and the wind coming for this place, so the fan is still on the move. It's actually, for me, it's about the future, presence, and the past together. Making sense only on the time, space, time, infinity. Yeah. Okay, this is a manufacturer for a mule, for a fish mule, and I did my third work. I did recording on this silo. The project is about the called Leap Second project. It's about the Leap Second, which the guys from UTC Center from Paris adding to global time to make equal between the atomic and the natural time. Some reasons, because Earth going slow and slower, and some years those guys should add this second to global time to make this regulation, I don't know, like this. So the project I did, actually I recorded the 1 second, exactly the 1 second time, on exact time 23 59 60 on 30th July this year during my visit. And the project is connected with some guys from Europe. Another Leap Second was recorded by Burkhard Bains in Berlin, and the third one was recorded by Mark Baron in Paris, exactly on the same time. So we have these 3 Leap Seconds, and this is project about time, and how the time can be new, or how the sound can be new on the time. It's like, for my opinion, if the time is new, so it was the Leap Second. Any aesthetic you can do and you did on this time, I mean the aesthetic of the sound, it's completely new. Doesn't matter if it's something like because my work was, I just put the Victorian synthesizer inside the silo going up, and this silo makes beautiful reverb. So I recorded this Victorian synthesizer sound in a silo exactly on the time I just mentioned. So that's it.
I wanted to describe the process of recordings I've done here in Seydisfjordur, and I recorded fans with the contact mics, and there are a lot of fans, very long to protect ships from the city space. So I put my contact mics on the fence, very tiny wires, and it works like some kind of aeolian harp or wind harp, because here in Seydisfjordur and on Iceland there are very windy all the time. There's very windy all the time, so there's strong wind almost all day. So this wind plays on these wires, and I can record very interesting sounds, not even touching the wires itself. So it's like generative sounds from the wind and from the wires. So it works somehow like a wind instrument. And also you can hear through these contact mics, through this technique, you can hear a lot of sounds from the distance. For example, when sometimes there is a stream under the fan, so you can see the sound of the water which is coming through the wires to the microphones, and of course it's transformed through the wires. So the sounds are really sometimes strange and artificial, and you can hear a lot of strange, interesting sounds from the distance. And what else? And depends when you put the contact mic, because these fences, they have maybe, I don't know, 1.5 meters high. So when you put your contact mics down near the grass, you can hear a lot of percussive sounds, like when the wind moves the grass, which touches wires and plays. It's like a percussive sounds coming from the wires as well. And when you put your contact mics higher on the highest level, so that starts this wind really like a drone sound coming from the wires. Really interesting stuff, and I like it because it's completely artificial, like the sound seems to be not from this place, and really but it is from this place, but coming from the fences, from the long wires which are here, like these fences. And these fences are nice because they are really not so heavy, like these wires are rather not so big, not so like heavy material. It's rather soft wires like this. So it's really nice. Yeah, so that's all. But what is most important is to hear the sound. So sound speaks for itself, I think. And especially with this image, it's very important because it's like a really nice interaction for me between this nature and between this really sometimes abstract, mostly abstract electroacoustic sounds of the amplified fences. So, thank you.
Naprawdę to chodzi o to, że ja daję tutaj połączenie nic normalnego. Smoke here.
You can play. Make some noise.
What's the name of the stone that used to navigate?
Compass?
No, they had a.
Magnets, whatever.
No, it was a transparent stone.
Yeah.
The Vikings used to read the compass.
From Mexico. Yes, sir. Just being an asshole because he's very
But then I was more successful. He was
sort of landlord, no?
And
Yeah, the fact that I should be working, so I just started making wood.
Where?
That's good.
Yeah.
From the trees and from other components, like that they make difference between like the oak trees and the others. So you have to
They start to control it.
I don't know, I already said but already like and she
Just mom. But I think I was.
It's really big, so I mean, there's just a lot of different kinds of stuff. But you're from Vancouver? I'm from Vancouver originally. So I've lived
Oh yeah. Ah, okay.
Cha-cha.
Well, it's a little bit like Europe.
Cha-cha,
I mean,
not so weird, but we did mix them. So I don't think it's bad. It's really fun.